Today I played my first game of 2024 and I knew how important this game was because prior to the game, I was leading the tournament together with some other people. I had 4.5 out of 5 points and I had the white pieces against a French 2100. Now, this time I feel like I'm gonna pronounce it better than last time, but I was facing Bastien Bourgeois. French people tell me if this is the way you pronounce it. But he had a pretty good tournament. He was playing well. He's been, quite in the highs of 2100, I believe, almost 2200. So I knew that I was facing a strong opponent, but I had the white pieces. This morning, I spent a lot of time preparing because I saw that he only plays one thing, the Slav. And, maybe the Nimzo-Indian, but the Nimzo-Indian or the Slav. So I went to the game feeling very ready. And I started with 1d4, like I always do. Now, he went knight f6, and I thought, okay, no Slav, okay, probably the Nimzo-Indian then. c4, and he goes g6. And I knew, once again, he has prepared something against me. Like, I don't know what it is. I think it is that all my opponents think that I'm getting some crazy grandmaster preparation and they just want to play something that I'm not expecting. But everybody is playing things that I'm not expecting. So I thought, okay, what is he going to do now? Is he playing the King's Indian? No. He went d5 and I knew that this was a Grunfeld. And the reason this annoyed me was because I keep on saying in my videos and streams that the opening I hate playing against the most is the Grunfeld. And I don't know if it's pure coincidence that my opponents play what I say on stream that I don't like facing, or they actually watch it and they remember this. I don't understand what it is, but I was very unhappy here. And the reason I was unhappy is because I knew that the line that I typically play, which is takes, e4, and here queen a4, I knew that I typically get bad positions actually with this. And I really did not want to get into it because I knew that he probably had some good line. So in this position, I thought, okay, this guy never plays the Grunfeld. Let me surprise him. Let me do some reverse psychology here. So I played a line that I used to play when I was younger, which is bishop g5. The idea of bishop g5 is that I'm being a little bit annoying towards this pin, and now if he goes h6, my idea is going to be to go bishop e3 and have a target. So this h6 pawn will allow me to go queen d2 at some point with an extra tempo. That's the idea of bishop g5. Now c5 is the main move here, and I remember that rook c1 was theory. Idea being that if he captures, captures, and captures, I'm actually going to put it up so you can see it. I have rook takes c8, and he cannot take here because I will just take back, and he cannot take my queen because there's a pin. So this is the idea. So he cannot do this. So I'm right now defending the pawn. So instead he went castles. I went knight f3, which is good. h6, bishop e3, takes and takes, and here he went bishop g4. Now here I was feeling very happy about my position. I think that he should go for some queen a5 maybe earlier on, but here I was feeling very happy with my position, and I think so far the accuracy, I'll tell you one, but yeah, so far this is really good. But after bishop e2, he went knight c6, and I quickly realized that this was a mistake due to d5. And yeah, this is what I was going to say. So far, my accuracy has been of 100%. So, all these moves are really good. And by move 13, I had right now +2 in advantage. Now, I didn't realize this. Maybe because I was looking up to my opponent. He's a little bit higher rated and he seemed so confident and he was playing fast. So maybe I just didn't realize that, oh, wait a second, Anna, he has misplayed. You are much better right now. That didn't cross my mind. It was more a shocking wait a second, what is he gonna do now? What's going on here? It was more that kind of feeling, but I should have realized that I was just much better here. So here I spent 30 minutes thinking, which was obviously extremely stupid. But the reason I did that was because I thought that to the bare eye, bishop takes f3 just looks like the natural move, but my intuition and my heart was saying that g takes f3, which I think looks kind of weird, was the right move. And so I spent 30 minutes trying to prove to myself that g takes is better. And then I ended up playing g takes, and it is much better. It's plus 2.5 to do this. And I shouldn't have doubted myself so much that I thought for 30 minutes here, because I really felt like this was the better move. So I'm happy that I played it, but still. And the moment I played it, I could see my opponent, he just went his face went kind of he was surprised, because it looks very strange to the eye. It looks wrong chess-wise. I mean, I'm right now moving my pawn and just getting a double pawn. I mean, this just looks completely wrong, to be honest. So in this position, he ended up playing knight a5. And here I decided I could castle, but I wanted to go queen d2. Idea just being that I'm threatening this h6 pawn, and I'm kind of right now also forcing his queen to stay here, as otherwise his knight will be moving. Here, I was basically forcing a queen to stay here, and he went king h7 to defend the pawn. Now here I had several options. First option that I was thinking about was to go crazy, full-on aggressive h4. And I was really thinking about this, and the reason I didn't do it was because after rook c8 and h5, I really just didn't know exactly how this was. And now looking at it, I'm realizing that this is actually probably quite good for me. I was looking at all of this, g takes f4, takes, and I was really scared about the fact that my king was going to be so out in the open forever. But the problem here is that this diagonal is just so weak. So after something like rook g8, I can play something like, for instance, either rook h3, or I can go something like queen b1, and I'm right now I have a bunch of threats. I can even maybe just also play bishop d3 and threaten to go here and take here. So yeah, this is the most punchy line. I don't know, punchy sounds a bit, I don't know, but you know what I mean. I think that is the most punchy line. But instead here, I went for f4 because I thought, okay, Anna, let's play a more solid game. And the idea was just that after rook c8, here I cannot take here, and take here due to bishop c3 check, winning my queen. Here, I just went castles, and I thought that this was very safe, and I was just better. And yes, I am right now plus 2.5. And in this position, he went b6. I had 20 minutes left on the clock. In fact, I think in this position, I ran to the bathroom because I really had to go to the bathroom, but I only had 20 minutes left, and so I had to really make sure that I didn't lose 7 minutes. So I was running around, and I was trying to get myself ready for the time trouble, because I knew I was going to get down to time trouble. And here, I made a mistake. Not a big mistake, but now if I would just understand that my bishop needs to stay here, my position would just remain amazing. So here the situation is that I want to take control of the c-file. And I thought that the way for me to get control of the c-file is by going bishop a6 and forcing the rook to move. However, here I can just simply go takes, rook c1, force the queen to move, and then go queen c2, and keep my bishop here, and together queen and rook together control the whole c-file. And now I'm just simply threatening queen c7, and I think practically this is really hard for him to hold. I don't know what he's going to do, maybe e5, but if he goes something like e5, I can literally just play queen c7, and I really just don't know what he's going to do here. I mean, I think that's just a really terrible position for him. He can go queen a4, but I mean here all his pawns are hanging. I think that's just a really bad position for him. So practically, I think this is just, yeah, great. However, I went bishop a6, and this immediately made me lose a big part of my advantage, because after takes, and queen d7, which is his best line, I am right now losing control of the light squares. So here I should go queen d1 with the same idea of controlling g4. I need to prevent queen g4 check, but I ended up going queen e2. And this is slightly worse because I allow him now to push his e-pawn one step, and after this, I don't really necessarily want to take, because if takes, queen takes, and here, he's going to have f6, and now I'm just losing control of the whole center. And now this is not really that much better for me.
She has less than 12 minutes, and she needs to make 20 moves now, is it? They have made 20 moves. So she needs to make 20 moves. So she has 1 minute per move.
So in this position, my best move is to go queen b5, but I did not see this whatsoever. I didn't see this whatsoever. And this is really difficult, but the idea of this is that after queen b5, after takes, rook here, I have rook c7, and we can see now just how good my rook becomes versus this knight, because truth is, this is everything that I'm doing. I am right now just playing against this knight. So I was looking at all of these different things, but I didn't see actually queen b5, and the only thing that I saw was queen g4. And the reason I wanted to do this was because I wanted to pin this pawn. And I had also already calculated a line which I thought worked. I thought that after queen g4, the only move he can do to try to fight for equality here is to go f5. And he did this. And he didn't just do this, but after he did this, he offered me a draw. And I absolutely, with all my heart, hate it when my opponents offer a draw, because I just get really stressed about the fact that if I say no, I had to prove that I can win, and if I say yes, I regret not trying to win. So it's a lose-lose scenario no matter what. When they offer me a draw, I just get sad. So he offered me a draw here, and I just said, oh no, why did you have to do this? Like, why can we not just play out the game, you know? And yeah, I was thinking here for a while, but I thought that this position was still very rich, and even though I had very little time left, I wanted to keep on playing. So I declined his draw offer, and I said no.
Now Anna is down to 4 minutes, and this is what I'm so worried about. I'm so worried about her time. She is down to 4 minutes. She took on e6. I'm so happy she did that. She took on e6. This was the best move. Her opponent will absolutely take on e6. He cannot give her a strong, big pawn on d7. This is not the chance.
Here, I thought that I was actually just immediately going to get better after takes and takes, pawn takes, pawn takes. He cannot take with the rook, because then you have bishop c8, just winning an exchange. He cannot take with the, whoops, he cannot do that. He cannot take with the queen, because after takes, takes, I have rook c7. And now once again, this knight is just absolutely terrible, and my rook is just so active that it's just completely winning. So the only thing he can do is capture back with the pawn. And here I thought that after bishop d3, pinning this pawn, I would just be much better, because I thought that after rook f7 that I would have this move rook c7. However, what I missed here, the idea here is that if he captures back my rook, then I have bishop takes f5, winning the queen. However, what I missed here is that he can actually, after I go rook here, go king h8. And now he's threatening both my queen and my rook, and I am actually just going to lose a piece. The best thing I have is just to sacrifice my piece, which is just a terrible thing. So I realized there that I couldn't go rook c7.
But she's down to 2 minutes, 2 minutes 35 seconds. Now she's on her way to move. She is on her way to move. What is she going to play? What will she do? She has 2 minutes and she has 16 moves to make.
So instead here I went queen h5, and for some reason this kind of messed up myself psychologically. I only had 2 minutes left. I was feeling very stressed about the fact that the move that was the reason I said no to his draw offer, didn't work. And for some reason, I thought that I was worse here. And I cannot really explain it, but I started getting really scared of stuff like rook f6. I got really scared about this idea, actually. Queen d5, bishop here, rook f6, and him just entering with the rook. And okay, I was going to do something like this, but I started getting really scared about the fact that my king was going to end up being so weak, which I really don't know actually why I got so scared of it, but I did. So yeah, I for some reason I started feeling like, oh, I should have taken a draw. He was, I've made a big mistake. So psychologically, I just started feeling really inferior in some way. And it was very strange. He went queen g6 check, takes, takes. And here, I was thinking for a while, and I just for some reason thought that I was going to be worse in the endgames, because if he's somehow able to trade his bishop and knight for my 2 bishops, then the rook endgame is much worse for me because this pawn is so weak, and he has a 2 versus 1 on this side. So I thought that in all rook endgames, he's just going to be so much better because he's going to be able to just try to push these pawns and he'll just be better. But I am actually just better here. I went king f1 and I offered him a draw here because I was kind of thinking, Anna, you should have taken the draw before. And I was also feeling quite tired. I only had 2 minutes left on the clock. I still had 15 moves to do, and I couldn't see my plan on how to continue the game because I couldn't see how to enter. I knew that I couldn't move any of my pawns. And okay, this is not really easy, but when I came in to talk to my mom after the game, I told her I think I'm worse. And my mom was like, Anna, you're better. And so I think that just kind of shows that I was just completely misjudging this position. And he thought for like 5-10 minutes, and then he ended up accepting the draw. So the game ended up in a draw. And then after the game, I kind of regretted it because I never offer draws. I hate offering draws. I always want to try all the way until the end. But somehow I think that I felt like 1, I would still be leading the tournament with a draw. 2, I only have 2 minutes left. 3, I felt like my brain was not in the right space and I just was seeing ghosts. And I was seeing a lot of things that I was scared of, which I had no reason to be scared of. So maybe practically it was good that I took a draw because I could have messed up, obviously, with the little time that I had. But yeah, I was mostly just scared of him somehow being able to go up with his king and capturing this pawn, which is something I shouldn't really be scared of. But anyways, this game would probably have ended up being 3-4 hours longer, and it could have ended in a draw. I could have won. I could also have messed up and lost, obviously, but overall a draw is a good result, and it puts me at 5 out of 6 points, which is a really good score. I am right now still tied first, and tomorrow will be a huge day because I think now for me to win the tournament, which is my ultimate goal, I need to take 2.5 out of 3 points. So tomorrow I will have to really try to win, the day after 2, and I can only let 1 more draw slip away. And obviously I do want to try to win the tournament. So tournament is going good so far, 5 out of 6, I'm gaining rating. But tomorrow, in the last 3 rounds, are going to be the very decisive ones in terms of me winning the whole thing. So wish me luck for tomorrow, because I will need it. I am now going to get the longest sleep of my life. I'm going to eat the most amazing food ever to be fully energized, and tomorrow I'm going to play the best game of my life. Wish me luck, and thank you so much for watching.